A young woman's kindness turns fatal in Utawala, Nairobi. The procurement graduate welcomed her ex-boyfriend into her home, and months later, she's found dead, her body set alight, her killer gone without a trace. The last person seen with her ex-boyfriend, Collins Nato Nyongesa. Now, CCTV captured him walking out, calm and alone. As the investigation continues, so does the silence. And the question still burns. What did NATO do? I am Brian Obuya. Welcome to this week's dispatch of murder tapes. Only NATO knows starts now. They met when the world was already heavy on her shoulders. Berin Sylvia Acheng had just lost her father, a loss that hollowed her laughter, leaving her moving through the days like a shadow. And then came Collins Nato Nyongesa, not family, just a quiet man from a cyber cafe offering posters, t-shirts, and in the small silences, comfort.
The suspect used to be my sister's boyfriend while she was still in high school and after. So that's where I knew him. Yeah, I knew him as my sister's boyfriend. I used to know where he used to work at that time. He used to do printing work for t-shirts, cards, and everything. Yeah, so even at my dad's burial, he was the one who made us the black t-shirts that we wore.
Grief can make strangers feel like lifelines. And one evening bled into the next. Design discussions became late-night calls. She began to believe she'd found someone gentle enough to understand her pain and strong enough to stand beside her. But love can be a trickster. It can hide the sharpest edges behind the warmest smiles. Their romance faded in time, as many do. But the memory of what they once were was enough for her to open the door years later when he reappeared with nowhere to sleep, at least according to him. In that moment, she wasn't thinking about the man who walked back into her life. She was remembering the boy who once stood by her side in the darkness, unaware he would one day bring the darkness back. And as she lay dead, partly burnt, there was no one to date to answer the question, why? And while there's no one to say NATO it was, all available evidence now says only NATO knows. Berin was 24 years old, a procurement student with a quick smile and a stubborn work ethic. She'd seen life at its hardest, but she never let bitterness take root. Those who know her story say she was a hard worker.
Mtoto mwenye ako na bidii kabisa, hadi hata hiyo bidii yake ilifanya hata hakutamak vile alipotoka hiyo university. Bahati mbaya babake alikufa hiyo 2019 kama ako third year. But licha yao yote alirudi akaconcentrate vizuri. Akamaliza hiyo shule yake, akagraduate hiyo wakati wa COVID. Alipomaliza nafikiria akajaribu hiyo mwaka yake ya kwanza, akajaribu akapata kakibarua hapo kwa hizi microfinance, akafanya muda kidogo. Then siku moja ananipigia simu, "Ai mam, niombe, nimepata kibarua kazi mahali, niweke kwa maombi." Nikamwambia, haina shida be, wacha nitakuombea tu, mimi najua tu tayari vile umesema hivyo, Mungu amesikia. Utafanya nini? Utafanya kazi, utapata kazi. Kidogo hivi haikukaa, ananipigia baka na niambia, mam, Mungu alisikia maombi, nimepata kazi. Akajoin Swissport.
Those who knew her remember not just her beauty, but the warmth she carried like sunlight in her hands. And it's this conviction that led murder tips braving the muddy paths in Cadell, Homa Bay County, to retell the story of the Vice-Serenian killed in a horrific manner. But before then, you see, as Murder Tips traverses this country to document Kenya's most horrific crimes, we've seen things, many things, both good and bad. And now, I fail to understand, how does a county like Homa Bay, cradled by the vast waters of Lake Victoria, blessed with fertile land, and home to some of Kenya's most influential political figures, still leave its children scooping muddy rainwater from roadside puddles to drink? And it is not just in Cadell. I've seen the same thing in Homa Bay Eastward. It is a paradox soaked in neglect and failed leadership, where nature's abundance collides with man-made scarcity. Decades of promises have evaporated into political speeches here. Yet taps remain dry, dams unbuilt, and pipelines broken. Here, thirst is not a result of drought, but of governance that turns a blind eye, while a resource-rich county like Homa Bay watches its people live like strangers to the very blessings under their feet. Anyway, we take a turn 300 meters off the Kisumu-Homa Bay highway to the home the family left in Homa Bay to live in Bungoma. Here, we find Berin's mother, Lona Akoth, and Berin's elder sister, Emma Acheng. The duo is coincidentally back home after attending a burial of a relative. After some time, I begin to learn that on the day Berin was killed, she had just reported back from work. She worked mostly at night.
I had traveled home to Bungoma for my leave from work. So we were in communication with her because we had some projects to do at home in Bungoma for mom. So on 28th, I traveled back to Nairobi at night, and because I was resuming work the next day in the morning. So I talked to her at around 9:30. She called to confirm if I had already boarded the car, am I on the way, and how was like the overview of the project, how it went. So we talked for like 5-10 minutes. She told me she was going to work. She was going in for a night shift. So I told her we'll plan so that we can meet over the weekend because I'll be free. She'll also be free. Then we just do a catch up of how things went.
Tuliongea na yeye last nafikiria ilikuwa 27th hiyo mwezi wa 4 last year. Ndio nikampigia simu mchana. Hata mwanzo hakushika, baadaye akaniambia mama relax. Nikamwambia mbona ulikuwa unanipea wasiwasi? Akarelax akaniambia mimi unajua job most of the time nafanyanga usiku. Ukiona umenipigia simu sijashika haraka hivyo, jua saa zingine nimefanya nini, nimelala. Tukawasiliana naye, kuna shughuli nilifaa nifanyia. Akanishughulikia hiyo shughuli. Nikamshukuru hivyo na ndiye ikawa word zake na mimi ya mwisho. Kesho yake hiyo 28th nilijaribu kumpigia mchana, hakurespond. Sasa mimi nikadhani bile jana nilimpigia simu na ikawa alikuwa analala, akanijibu tu ukiona sijashika simu ujue saa zingine nimelala. Nikarudi sasa nikarelax, nikaendelea tu na kazi yangu. Nilikuwa busy hiyo siku kwa kazi.
So on Friday at around 2 after my lunch at work is when I got a WhatsApp call from the then boyfriend that I knew. A white boyfriend WhatsApp call. So I had to hang up because I was at work. I only sent a message that I'll call him back. So after that he called again. So I got worried because I used not to talk to him directly unless through my sister. On calling him back, he asked if I had spoken to my sister, of which I said yes. I told him I talked to her at night, but this Friday I haven't called her because I knew we'll talk later in the day and plan for a meetup over the weekend.
For 3 months, it turned out, Collins Nato Nyongesa was hosted by his ex-girlfriend Berin Sylvia Aoko. She worked herself late in the night and had little sleep during the day to pay the bills, to take care of everything, including the shelter that she shared with Nato and the food the duo ate. We do not know the type of relationship the two had, even though she had said it was not an intimate one. What we know is Berin had a big heart and it accommodated so much love for those in her life, including a Canadian boyfriend that Emma is talking about. After all, by the time Nato reappeared, Berin's heart, according to her, had moved on. She was speaking daily with the man from Toronto that she'd met online. They'd never met, but his voice was a constant in her life. And sometimes his money was too. Still, she let Nato stay because arguably in her world, kindness was never optional.
So he told me he has been trying to reach my sister out, but to no avail. So I only told him, let me try out because I haven't called my sister since morning.
April 28th, 2023 began quietly. Berin returned from a night shift at the Swiss Spot where she worked. She entered her apartment with Nato already inside. Security footage captures Nato going back to the house after buying something. Looking at the footage, it would appear that no one suspected anything until about 2:40 p.m. on that Friday, the 28th day of April, when this woman with a baby innocently rocks it around Berin's house. It will be the smell of smoke that will make neighbors signal each other and call the caretaker. Upon opening the house, and I hope you can follow the footage, inside lay Berin Aoko, the Swiss Spot employee, on her bed, dead. Her workplace got this information faster than anyone else.
So immediately after that call, I got another call from Emma, my sister's manager at work. So she called asking if I'm the sister to the late Berin. I said yes. Then she told me that she was involved in an accident and she got injured on both legs. So they wanted me to come to where she used to stay. Then I told her I'm at work, so I have to ask for permission first before I leave, and it may take time. So I told her to give me some few minutes. I give a report to my manager, then leave. So in less than 5 minutes, the HR called. Yeah, the HR switchboard called. She also told me the same information. And for her, she insisted that she talks to my manager so that she can ask for permission for me directly. So after that, I was a little bit tensed because if my sister is injured, why am I being called to go to where she used to stay? I'm supposed to be called to go to a hospital or somewhere else, but I thought it wasn't that something serious. So I got permission from work. I work in Karen, so I got permission from work, took an Uber to Benedicta Utawala, Lexo, where she used to stay. So on getting there, got a crowd of people, the workmates, neighbors. So on getting there, someone pointed me, that's her sister, and the workmates walked towards me. So I met that manager and some few workmates. Then is when the manager told me that unfortunately my sister is no more.
Kufika kitu around saa 11. Na wana nini? Kufika hiyo time, naona watu wanaingia kwa duka langu. Karibu watu 4 hivi. Walipokuja hata nilikuwa nimerelax, nilidhani tu vile wani kishona labda wameniletea nini? Wameniletea kazi. Kidogo hivi mwingine ananiongelesha kando. Kuna simu nikapigiwa. Huyu akiniuliza nini imekuwa ikiendelea hapo kwa market. Nikamjibu tu sijajua ni nini, hata mimi niko na hawa majirani wangu hapa. Sijui kuna nini inaendelea. Mmoja wao alikuwa jirani yangu na wengine pia wakaniita kando. Akaniambia Berin ndiye ametuacha.
And she was not just gone, she was murdered. While Murder Tapes has not been successful in acquiring the entire footage that shows details before the fire from the investigating team, footage that we have reviewed shows Nato captured here entering the apartment. Nato also spoke to Emma in a weird phone conversation minutes after the incident, confirming his presence at the apartment. But something was sinister about his explanation.
They share a different relationship compared to what I share with the guy. Because you see, I only knew him through my sister. And with my sister, they dated at some point. So I wouldn't say much. Yeah. So after talking to him on phone, he was like, I'll be coming to Nairobi for some time. We can meet up and say hi, kujuliana hali. I said, no worries, me, I have no problem, it's okay. So that day when I was just wanting to know what was this guy doing here, so I texted him with my phone. Hi, have you heard what has happened? Yes, nimeambiwa. So I'm like, umeambiwa with who? With my friends. Kambia, it's okay, just wanted to let you know because you said you'll be coming to Nairobi. Then the guy is like, nimekuwa hata Nairobi for like 2-3 months na nimekuwa nikikaa na sister yako. Ati nimekuwa hapo for some time, hata nimetoka on Monday and my sister died on Friday. Then he went ahead and told me hata kuna nguo zangu zingine niliacha hapo, bag nini, so nitakujia. Nikamwambia ni sawa, me I only called to tell you what has happened. So immediately he made a poster or a small video, rest in peace Aoko and blah blah. So I said it's okay. So if you already know about my sister's death, then guess nothing much I have to tell you. So he told me just to keep him posted in case something comes up or in case of anything. Yeah, so I told him it's okay. Definitely that was, I was sure, more than sure that this guy has been there, because even from what the caretaker was telling me is that this guy has been staying with my sister for close to 2 or 3 months. So since he mentioned that he has been there and he left there on Monday, considering the bag, the clothes that he left behind are the ones that were taken by the CCI or by the DCI, the shirt, the football jazz that he talked about is the one that was there on the CCTV camera, was the one that was being burnt, plus other clothes on my sister's legs.
The crime scene showed a bed that had been on fire. The lower part of the 4x6 bed had partly burnt. Berin lay there face up. Her feet had begun to catch fire.
The sitting room was just okay, the way she used to arrange it. The bathroom, the corridors were okay. In the kitchen it was okay also, but only that there was food on the cooker. But now the bedroom was messed up. The bedroom was full of smoke, it was dark. Then as I was getting inside, definitely there was water on the floor, the one that they used to kuzima nayo moto. Then the mattress was burnt, the lower part. There were some clothes under there and some other things on the bed. Yeah, so the bedroom was the only part that was messed up because of the smoke. So it had caught up with the clothes, the shoes on the wardrobe, the dressing mirror. Yeah, but the other sides, it was just okay.
The food on the cooker was still boiling, as if she had planned to eat it. This is the same food that witnesses told the police had been bought by NATO not so long ago.
Where she used to stay, there used to be a CCTV camera. So on getting what the neighbors were telling me, I had an idea of my sister's friends, the male ones. So some of them I had, when they were taking photos, she could send me. So I used to, I started showing them, is this one, this one, this one? So they said no. So when we requested to see the CCTV camera, I saw the whole footage and identified the suspect. So on that, after telling the DCI guys, I gave them all the information, the details and everything. So since then, they are still looking up to the case.
The major reason investigators settled on NATO as the main suspect in the murder of Berin Aoko is because he was the only person who lived with the deceased and was with her that afternoon before he ran away. Also because it was NATO's clothes that were burning on the feet of Berin when neighbors checked in. Further, because he lied about the full details regarding his presence at Berin's apartment. NATO saying he left Monday before the fateful Friday, but CCTV cameras had captured him that morning, and neighbors had seen him too. But more convincing is what the body of the 24-year-old customer care assistant told pathologist Peter Ndegwa at the Kenyatta University Funeral Home. A very important story that would change the course of the investigation. Dr. Peter Ndegwa saw that the fire was not what killed Berin. The autopsy found no soot in her lungs. She had died from assault. The 18% bans, Ndegwa said, were inconsequential in the causation of death in the case of Berin Aoko. That report had shown that Berin died of suffocation. Taking note of the manner in which Nato disappeared, police believe that he deprived the girl of oxygen by obstructing her breathing. The flames were a disguise. Nato hadn't just left her. He'd tried to arrest the customer care assistant. And from that day, Collins Nato Nyongesa vanished. No phone calls, no sightings, no arrest. The man she once trusted became a ghost.
Kitu ashua intakana, hata mimi najiuliza sipati jibu kwa sababu muda imeenda. Ingekuwa ni kitu ya kushughulika, hata wangekuwa wameshughulika juu hata sisi tunataka tupate haki yetu.
With CCTV footage, witness statements, and a clear cause of death, the case should have moved quickly. But months turned to years, and justice is still waiting. The family down in Homa Bay and Bungoma appears to have lost hope in the police investigation. Mrs. Ayeyo, who lost her husband 6 years ago, had begun to depend on the two girls, same year that one of them was brutally taken away.
Kweli maisha saa hii mtoto ule kuanzia mdogo mpaka some amalize shule university. Mtoto ifike mahali unataka umtegeme, na tayari imagine alikuwa ameshaanza kunisupport mpaka hata baba yao walipowaacha alikuwa sasa ni kama anataka tu yani asimame tu kwa hiyo pengo ya baba yao wakisaidiana na Emma jua wengine bado. Sasa iliniumiza sana kama mzazi. Ni vile sikuwa na uwezo na kitu ya kufanya. Jua amekuwa akinisupport pakubwa sana.
Now, independent investigations by the Murder Tips Investigations Unit have revealed that Collins Nato Nyongesa, the man wanted by police for the murder of Berin Aoko, was born on 27th of November 1996. He was born in Congolese sublocation, Bukembe location, Bumula constituency in Bungoma South. Nato was born to Joseph Nyongesa Kubungile and Evelyn Nyongesa. The Tachoni boy identifies as a student without clear details of his schooling. He is the holder of ID number 3401 ending in 16. This document, Murder Tips has independently established, was issued at the Huduma Center in Bungoma on the 9th of September 2019. Police believe he made away with Berin's newly acquired blue iPhone 13 that had been bought 7 months earlier on 14th September 2022. Also missing is Berin's laptop. But so far, there are no further details of whether or not the email number of that phone, 351680, ending in 650322, has been analyzed to strike out other phone numbers that were inserted into the phone after Berin's death, and that would make it easier for police to narrow down to specific suspects.
We are orphans. Dad left us in 2019, and so mama amekuwa akikaa na sisi all this while. So at the point that alipata kazi, I also work, at least to could chip in kidogo, take care of my 2 brothers and my mom also, because I have 2 siblings, one in junior secondary and another one in campus. So at least with my sister we could chip in. Unaleta hii kidogo, ana support mdogo na support mkubwa, or the other way round. Yeah, then mom can ile yenye anapata kidogo kwa biashara, at least anaweza jisustain yeye. Yeah. So with her outside the picture, it's hard. It has been hard. Ni ngumu kabisa because you see now I have to support huyo mdogo, mkubwa plus mom. Yeah. So I don't know. Imekuwa too tough kabisa.
Mimi nilikuwa naomba tu waweze kushughulika, kwa sababu hata nashangaa mbona kuna mtu unakuta tu ameua mtu na hata hawezi chukua hata wiki, unakuta wameshughulika, mtu kama huyu amepatikana. Sasa hata mimi nilikuwa nashangaa kwa nini wasichukue hatua ili wafanye nini? Washughulike, watuambie tumejaribu, tumeshughulika, tumepata mwenye alifanya hiyo kitendo. Kwa sababu Kenya ni ndogo. Nisikia hata kwa TV kuna mwingine sijui aliua mtu na alikuwa nje ya Kenya na baadaye alipatikana. Sasa nashindwa kwa nini, yani kesi yetu inakaaje yenye wawezi shughulika tupate haki yetu.
And back in Kadel, her remains rest outside her father's house in Homa Bay. Outside the fence, I am told she was not married and that culture dictates she is buried that way, outside, away from the family home. Berin's story is not just about one man's betrayal. It's about the holes in a system where killers and suspected murderers can slip away and families are left with questions they may never answer. It's been more than 2 years since Berin Acheng was killed. The man last seen with her is still out there, somewhere. Someone knows where Collins Nato Nyongesa is. Someone knows how Berin Aoko died. But for now, only Nato knows. Murder is the ultimate crime. It robs a life, shatters families, and scars entire communities. And when the killer walks free, it's not just an insult to the victim, it's a stain on the justice itself. Berin Acheng was murdered inside her own home, and the man last seen with her is still out there, somewhere, living free. Maybe not guilty, but holding important answers. And let me be clear, no one, absolutely no one, should ever get away with murder. And so if you know where Nato is, if you've seen him, or if you have any information, no matter how small, do the right thing. Call the Directorate of Criminal Investigations right now. You can remain anonymous or even refuse to testify, but silence only protects the guilty. How easy is it to run away from justice in this country? Good evening.